Okay, let's talk about one of the biggest showdowns in tech right now, Google versus Meta. And no, we're not talking about search engines or social media. This is something much, much bigger. We're talking about a high-stakes race for what could be the next great computing platform. You know, for what feels like forever, the smartphone has been king, right? It's ruled our lives from our pockets. But what's next? Well, both Google and Meta are placing a massive bet that the answer is AI-powered smart glasses. We're talking about something that could totally change how we interact with, well, everything. The battle for your face, it has absolutely begun. So, after kind of being in the background for a bit, Google is back, and they're not just dipping their toes in the water. They've come out with a really comprehensive, multi-part strategy. Instead of just one device, they're building a whole ecosystem, and it's designed to bring everyone into the fold. So here's how they're breaking it down. It's pretty smart, actually. For just the average person, they've got the Gemini audio frames. Think of them as your normal glasses, but with a super powerful AI voice assistant built right in. Then for professionals, there's the Display Edition. This adds a little heads-up display, kind of like a see-through screen for things like directions. And for the real power users, developers and big companies, they have Project Aura, with full-on displays in both eyes for building really immersive stuff. It's a classic Google move: create a platform where there's an entry point for everybody. So what is it that really makes these glasses smart? I mean, it's not just about cramming a camera into some frames, right? The real magic, the secret sauce, is all happening on the inside, and it's powered by Google's most advanced AI. Let's dig into how this all actually works. Okay, so what's running the show? It really comes down to two powerhouse systems. First, you've got the Gemini 2.5 Pro AI. This is Google's top-tier model that's amazing at understanding context and having a natural conversation. But here's the really cool part. It's paired with something called Project Astra. This is a crazy new vision system that lets the glasses literally see and understand the world just like you do. We're talking real-time object recognition and even remembering where you left your keys. But wait a minute, how do you possibly fit all of that insane computing power into a pair of glasses that doesn't weigh a ton? Well, here's the clever part. They don't actually try to. Google's solution is what they call a split compute architecture. The glasses are basically the eyes and ears. They capture all the data, but the heavy lifting, all the thinking and processing, that gets sent right to your smartphone. It's a genius way to keep the glasses light and comfortable while still giving you access to all that incredible AI power. So that's Google's game plan. But now, let's bring Meta into the ring, because here's where it gets really interesting. Both companies are building smart glasses, yeah? But their ideas for what these glasses should do are fundamentally different. This isn't just about competing products. It's a clash of philosophies about our future. Their core ideas are just worlds apart, and it makes total sense when you think about their main businesses. You've got Google, the company that's all about organizing the world's information. So of course, their glasses are a tool. They're about productivity and utility in the real world. Then you have Meta, built on social networks. For them, it's all about connection, creating content, and sharing your life, building on what they started with their Ray-Ban stories. And that core difference in philosophy? Well, it totally changes who they're trying to sell these things to. Google is laser-focused on professionals and big business customers, people who want a smart assistant to help them get work done. Meta, on the other hand, is going after its huge, existing audience of content creators and social media users who want a brand new way to share their world. And finally, let's look at the AI brains behind the operation. Google is throwing its weight behind Gemini 2.5 Pro, which, as we said, is designed for this really deep, contextual understanding of your physical surroundings. Meta is using its own Llama-based AI, which right now is more geared toward conversations and creative stuff. You can see their goals right there in the tech. Google is all about real-world help, while Meta is doubling down on social interaction. Now, with all this amazing tech, you'd think smart glasses would be everywhere by now, right? Well, not so fast. The path to a future where we're all wearing these things is, let's just say, it's pretty rocky. Both Google and Meta, and really the whole industry, are facing some major challenges. I mean, let's be real, the tech is one thing, but getting people to actually wear them is a whole different ballgame. There's still a lot of public skepticism out there. People have major and very valid privacy concerns about walking around with cameras on their faces. And on top of all that, you've got these huge engineering problems, like how do you fit a battery that lasts all day into something that's actually slim and stylish? The good news is, it seems like these companies have learned from past mistakes. They're trying to get ahead of the privacy issue this time. Things like a really obvious LED light that shows when the camera is recording, something Meta already does and Google is planning, are becoming non-negotiable. They're also working on things like making sure other people can't hear your private conversations. It's all about building that public trust, because without it, this whole thing is a non-starter. At the end of the day, this whole race, it's not really about the glasses themselves. It's about this bigger idea, this sort of holy grail of tech called ambient computing. The vision here is that technology will eventually just disappear. It'll blend into the world around us, seamlessly and quietly helping us out without us ever having to pull a phone out of our pocket. Which brings us to the final, huge question. As these giants, Google and Meta, keep pushing the limits, are we watching the beginning of the end for the smartphone? And more importantly, are we ready for a future where our tech isn't in our hands anymore, but is literally part of how we see the world? That is the multi-billion-dollar question they're both racing to answer.